And then who else? Hello, Philip. Philip ka? Jeffrey. Justin, I called already. Adinda. Evelyn.
Hi, Miss.
Hi. Okay, who else do we have here? Maria.
Hi, Miss. Hello.
Sarah. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Miss.
Okay. Okay, so let me check my WhatsApp first. Are we still waiting for Pak Michael and Pak Sam to join? Let's just wait for a couple more minutes. I know that Pak Michael has to attend another meeting at the moment with the rector. And then hopefully Pak Michael will join us soon. So we'll just wait for a couple more minutes, yeah, to let the others join us as well. Who from your group hasn't joined? You should know by now. Okay, so I can read from the chat that there are some group that the split group and then you mix up. That's no problem. As long as you're working in a group, it doesn't really matter which group, as long as it's a group work, yeah? So can you please confirm to me how many groups we have all together? Group 1 is here? You don't know your group number, yeah? Or do you?
We didn't know, Miss.
You don't know. Okay. So let me open my screen shot at that moment when I put you into the workout group. Let's see. Okay, guys. So can you in the meantime share with me what you think of the whole week? What experience have you gained? What have you expected it to be? Was it as expected, or was it beyond your expectation, or was it below your expectation? And if you can give recommendation, how would you recommend for the next year to be? Things like that. Any share of thoughts?
Hectic.
Hectic. One word to describe hectic, and why is that?
Well, we have a lot of stuff to do. Meanwhile, like other major, they don't have any stuff to do.
Okay. So it means that you are more advanced, right? And we trust you that you have gained more knowledge. Have you?
Not sure, but I think so.
Okay. Anyone else? Thank you, Gerald. How would you hi Fian.
Hello. Hello,
Okay.
Miss.
Yeah, so please do.
Okay, so I would like to share my experience regarding this project. This isn't my first time getting into a project like this because last year, in my grade 12 year, we also had to do this was like our final project, creating our own application with proper documentation and stuff like that, right?
Right.
So it was like a breeze because of prior knowledge. I did learn a lot more here, and it was nice that compared to what I had last time, this one is kinder. This one is kinder,
okay,
in terms of time. But I guess, like, yes, I do understand Gerald's point of view, which is like it did the schedule did kind of gotten hectic because even our cider class actually has the same project as this one. So we had to create two at the same time. We had to go to two groups at the same time, have multiple calls throughout the week. And nevertheless, it was a fun activity, and it was I had a wonderful time with my group mates. They were all very cooperative. They were all very kind and helpful. And yeah, that's it from me. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Fian. That's great to hear. Yes, and really insightful. I mean, maybe we can also think about for the next time to combine it, so it will be less hectic, right? But thank you so much for your inputs and sharing your experience. Great. And yeah, that's also one of the objective for you to get to know your classmates better, right? So you have your, when you know them better, then it'll be easier for you to learn together throughout the next 4 years. All right. So anyone else?
I guess I love how hectic it is because it's like a trial to a real college life. So
Not a trial. It is a real college life.
yes,
So
but
an
it's like
introduction.
yes.
Right, right. Okay. So it's giving you a sneak peek of what life will be, your future life will be, will look,
Yeah.
will kind of like looks alike
Yeah.
in the next coming days, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like a warming up situation for you to get prepared to run your life for the next 4 years. I mean, it depends, purely it will depend on how you want it to, you want to shape it. If you want to shape it right from the beginning, you can. If you want to mess it up from the beginning, you can. So it's your choice. But of course, we would truly encourage you to give up your best, do the most. This is really the place and time for all of you to learn and to make mistakes, right? Because by then, when you graduate, you've already experienced all the failures before, so you can build more upon what you have learned in your previous life during the college years. So this is like the time where you can fail, and people will just, it's okay, they're college, they'll learn more, you know. People you sometimes hear you don't give excuses to life, but being a student, it gives you lots of time for you to have these excuses. Okay, so looking from the note that I screenshot during our lesson. So I have here, okay, why is this a different note? Okay, this is a different one. Group 1 should be room 2, so it doesn't matter. So, okay, so this is one group, yeah. James, Lopez, Netania, Billy. Is that one group?
And Vian.
And Vian, okay. All right, you know what? You can just directly, we don't have to do it in group order. So whoever is ready, you just tell me who are your members, and then I'm just going to write down who the members are, and then you can directly present. Okay, so please, among yourself, select one person who will be the presenter, presenting the presentation, the project, and then we will at the end have a bit of a discussion. We should have around, with the on-site, it should be 6 group. Am I right? I think so, yeah. So if we have 10 minutes of each, you know what? Let's limit everything to 5 to 10 minutes of presentation, you guys. So no more than 10 minutes. Ideally should be 5 minutes, so we will have time for discussion. But 10 minutes is also okay. So I would want to have each group, one person as the presenter to present the presentation. And then after that, we can have a short discussion for everyone who wants to ask more on their friend's project. And then the other members of the group are truly welcome to add or comments as well. All right. So the first one, go ahead. Another easy thing to do is please put on the chat box right now which group wants to come first. Yeah. And then put the list. Yeah. So at least one group now. Fian's group would be the first one coming up. Oh, on-site people want to go first. Okay. Well, on-site people first
I
then.
want to go first.
All right. So among you two, who wants
That's
to
all
do
right,
it?
right. Vian's group can go first.
Oh, thank you so much.
So Fian's group, on-site people, and then after that, for the other, please put your just say group, whatever the app's called, and then put the list of the members. Okay. All right. Thanks, Fian. Go ahead.
All right,
Floor
thank
is
you
all
so
yours.
much. May I share my screen? I will share my screen. Tell me if you see it. Do you see it? Do you see it?
It's starting.
There
Yeah,
you go.
we can see it.
Okay. Give me a second. I'm feeling the nerves. uh, okay. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Clothing is an essential part of our life. After all, if it wasn't, we'll be all in our birthday suits in this Zoom meeting. However, other than the original intention of just covering our bodies, providing insulation and comfort, wearing clothes have revolutionized and became something more. Fashion has become important. Fashion has become art. Fashion has become a lifestyle. And fashion has become the second most polluting industry on earth. According to Battered Women's Support Services, BWSS, the fashion industry produces 10% of the world's emissions. The mass production of cheap yet trendy clothing and stylish clothing due to fast fashion has been so prevalent all these years that it now poses a great threat to the Earth's environment because of the textile and toxic chemical waste. Now, alongside this, these wastes are either disposed, incinerated, or placed into a landfill despite its reusability. In relation to this, the question persists: where do clothing that hasn't been disposed or thrashed go? Well, these second hands, third hands, and even fourth hands of disposed clothing can sometimes make its way through thrift shops, right? Through thrift shops, one of the most overlooked stores that can actually and potentially reduce the environmental issues of the fashion industry in of itself, just from the recycling and reusing mindset. And although these huge companies and manufacturers of the industry are a huge part of this issue, yes, we understand that they have this certain accountability and responsibility. We cannot ignore the fact that the reason why this problem persists is due to the demand of the supply. Knowing how a lot of people, knowing how these companies, these manufacturers will only produce these products if someone is actually buying them, right? And they will make more of this as long as these buyers fall victim to the hands of fast fashion and mass production. It would be hard, and because of this, it would be hard to break the cycle of consuming these products. And due to our stigma for thrift shopping or buying secondhand things or buying secondhand things, because people would prefer to buy from famous companies, famous manufacturers, let's just say Gucci or Prada, Dolce and Gabbana. And because of this, they're just perpetuating the cycle. Due to the lack of recognition for thrift shops, their sales have gone down significantly, especially during the pandemic. People would rather buy online clothes, online clothes from like online shopping platforms. But even if these local businesses, these thrift stores and thrift shops, reaching out to online shopping platforms, they will still be overshadowed by bigger competitors like H&M and Uniqlo. This is why our group, Tala, which means star, the Filipino word for star, would like to propose thrift lang. Thrift ko, thrift mo, thrift lang. It's a play on words that I could explain later if you want to discuss it. But moving on our introduction to what we have created in our group. Thriftlang is a mobile application that will serve as an exclusive online thrift shopping platform made for thrift shop sellers, thrift shop lovers, and thrift shop buyers alike. It's an application made with the goals of encouraging people to thrift and support local businesses, as well as combat the consumption of mass-produced clothing that produce significant waste. Since Tala wants people to find value in reusable and even cheaper items that contribute to the betterment of our environment. Okay. Alongside that, these are just a few objectives of what we actually want to conquer. To create a platform exclusively for thrift stores, encourage people to thrift, break the stigma, lessen clothing production waste, and also spread awareness for people. We're actually trying to interconnect our goals to the SDG or Sustainable Development Goals of the Sustainable Development Goals of United Nations. what we're trying to tackle here is the responsible consumption and production by ensuring sustainable consumption and production patterns, reducing chemical use, and reducing chemical waste. So let's talk about the app itself and the features that it has. I just took a screenshot of what we created on Proto.io. I hope you don't mind. But like in every online shopping platform, we have our sign up and login page. We have our where you can make your account, a homepage that features recommended products and users based on your interests. And we also have a products page where you can see items on sale, the thrift store items for sale. Of course, included there is like the actual description of the product and a chat feature for you to connect with the sellers themselves. We also have a sellers page that you can check multiple shops, multiple people that you can check, and that you can check out their wares to see if there's like things that are the same with the other. We also have a live streaming, because here in the Philippines, all the streamings that thrift sellers do is on Facebook. They're always on Facebook, and it's very hard to find them if you haven't been noticed of them before by your friends. We also have our profile here, and it's basically an overview of your account, what you have bought, your transactions, what's the current situation or progress of the things that you have ordered, etc., etc. So you might excuse me. Now, given this information, you might be thinking, why make this app in the first place when we already have Shopee and other shopping online platforms, right? Well, here's the thing. For Thrift Lang, the sellers' accounts are very exclusive. Unlike Shopee, those who want to sign up as a seller would go through a meticulous process of presenting their documentations to legitimize their thrift business. Because the number one problem that I still don't know how they legally get away with it is that a lot of people can just sign up without the proper documents and sell their things. This is also to avoid possible scams and online transaction complications for the safety of the sellers and buyers themselves. Alongside this, Thrift Lang's platform also donates and also encourages people to donate for programs focused on saving the environment due to its passion in having a more eco-friendly world. So why not be a part of this eco-friendly world? Together with Thrift Lang, let's make fashion better and safer for the environment. Thrift ko, thrift mo, thrift lang. Terima kasih. Thank you.
Terima
That's it
kasih.
for
Thank
me.
you. Okay, hold the slide there. I need to screenshot the name. All right, thank you so much, Vian's group. So we have, so the group name is Tala, and it consists of Lopez, James, Netania, Fian, and Billy, right? So congratulations, guys. That's really nice. So it's Tala because it stands for the group application Thrift Lang. Is that why the group's name is Tala? Is there a different definition of the group name?
Oh, yes, miss. Actually, for my cider group, we also use the same name, which is Tala,
Okay.
which means star, because we actually, as a start, we want to set a brighter future for everyone.
All righty. Okay, before we continue, I can see we have in the house, Pa Michael is already joining us. Hello, Pa Michael. He will also be looking throughout the presentation. Hopefully he can join us. Yeah, Pa Michael is somewhere on site. So it's okay, Pa Michael. You can be passively there on site. If you just want to comment, just unmute yourself, yeah, Pa Michael. Or you want to say something first, Pa?
Yes, thank you so much. It's really great presentation, Lopez, James, Calista, Ian, and Stefania here. So I would like to say that this is what we expect, not only during FYP, but you need to learn until several semester actually. UX design and research you need to take in semester 4, I think. So for the other students, please don't worry, because this is FYP. This is try to give some introduction to you, but in the end, you will learn by next week from scratch, yeah, and it will take 1 semester or 2 semesters to achieve this kind of information system design, yeah, and also maybe BI, yeah, business intelligence. You need to take in data management in third semester actually, yeah. Okay, so just enjoy your presentations, yeah, and also demonstration of your group work in this afternoon. Okay, thank you so much, everyone, and thank you, Ms. Ren. Back to you.
Thank you, Pa Michael. Yes, exactly what Pa Michael said. Yeah, everyone. This would be a showcase session, okay? Don't get too nervous, especially when Vian is opening the first presentation with a very great presentation, a well finished product at the end. All you need to do is actually run it. If it's running, then it's so great, right? So for the rest of the group, don't worry. As we said, as Pa Michael said, you need to have the whole semester to actually create things like that. But since you already have the first leap already this far, meaning that you will take this whole semester easily, what you need to do later on, hopefully by the end of the semester, you can actually make this happen, implement it directly, right? I mean, it's coming from your idea, and then who knows, while you're doing it, maybe at the same time you're really putting it out there, this app, and then you can share with us, and we can learn more from how you learning by doing and actually making the apps happen, right? Okay, thank you so much. Please give a big round of applause for Fian's group. We have on the group once again, we have Lopez, James, Netania, Fian, and also Zefania, Billy. Congratulations, guys. Any comment from the other members of the group? Anyone would like to add to what Fian said? Or perhaps any one of you would like to ask further how to become a seller in that Triflang, or how do you get more subscriber there, or how you can collaborate together, things like that. Yeah, we're also expecting that from one app to another app, you can do some collaboration at the end. All right. We'll just go to the next group first, and then we'll see at the very end if we can have like a whole round discussion throughout. Once again, thank you so much, Fian and the group. Really
Thank you
enjoyed the
so much,
presentation.
Miss. Oh, Miss, can I
Yes.
just quickly explain why the name is Thriflang before we
Yes,
move on?
that's my next
Yeah.
question actually. Why?
So Thriflang is a play on words on trip, the word trip, TRIP. So in Filipino, in Tagalog, that's basically a way to say I just like it, right? I do it because I like
see.
it. And when I say trip ko, thrift ko, which means trip ko, it's I like it. Thrift mo, you like it. So that's it.
But thrift doesn't come from thrift, like as in, you know how a thrift shop is?
Yeah, it's like a
Is it like that?
pun. Yeah, it's like
Okay.
a pun.
Okay. No, I mean, so the
Oh.
idea of the whole store here, does it sell thrift clothing, vintage clothing, or does it also sells new things as well? Do you
Oh.
combine it, or because usually when people relate thrift, it goes to like a thrift market, flea
Yes.
market, things like a second previously used, what do you call it? What's the name? When you previously owned something and then you sell it again,
Second
right?
hand?
Pre-owned.
Oh,
Pre-owned.
pre-owned. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
pre-owned. So that's
Oh.
usually how people relate to thrift. Is that the idea, or?
Yes, miss. The idea of thrift lang, it's just for thrift clothing. It's just
Okay.
for people with local businesses who actually sell a lot of thrift stuff because Tala does not tolerate any mass production and fast fashion that could possibly endanger the environment that we environment right now, especially at its current state. So we believe that even if it is secondhand or if it's a hand me down, it's fine. It's still, the quality is still beautiful. It still means a lot. And you can still become stylish and trendy no matter even if it's not new.
I see.
That's it,
Okay,
miss.
yes. And I also like the idea how you connected to the SDG, because it then relates to the whole the other angle of everything that you're living with, right? So it's going to the right direction, and that's how usually business should be related. If if you want it to be in the long term, it needs to connect to that, because then it can be useful for many people. So great job.
Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much,
much.
miss.
Thank you. All right. So now we have coming up next, group. Oh, the on-site people, right? Yes. So
Yes.
give it. We are going to give the floor directly to the on-site people. And before Gerald, you start, can I please have all the group name and the members on the chat box? So can you please type in your group with all the members, right?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, Gerald, are you presenting or?
Yeah, I'm presenting.
else?
Wait a second. I'll type
right.
it first.
Okay. You can ask your teammates to type it. So you can start. You can ask
Okay,
Rian
then.
probably, or Arshan, or Justin Timberlake.
Okay. So
Alright.
I think Aurelia will type it down. So since we don't have any Google Slides to be presenting, but we will have the Marvel app to be presented. So yeah, shall I start then? Greetings, Miss Rain, Sir Michael, Sir Sam here. I don't think so, yeah. So yeah, greetings all and BINUS team and fellow freshmen and freshman leaders. Well, we're from the on-site people group. We will be presenting an app called Recruit, which is an app that will target the high unemployment rate in Indonesia. As we've known that this pandemic currently makes people suffer economically, we have known that people lost their jobs. We have known that youths that are just freshly graduated cannot find a job because pandemic didn't give a chance to them. In fact, ILO stated that in 2021, the number of unemployment rate in Indonesia rocketed to 6.26%, whereas in the 2020, it is just at the rate of 4.94%, this is an essential issue for us to be talking about, or we need to address this topic and solve this right now. And in fact, based on Jakarta Post stated that there are 20% of Indonesian youths are unemployed. As we know, when we graduate, of course, we want to find a job, or we want to continue our studies and then find a job, but we need a job. At this rate, it will be so hard since there are only 8 out of 10 of us that can. Yes, I haven't shared the screen since. Okay, there are 8 out of 10 of us, the only one that will be provided with job opportunities. So Recruit is a solution for us to have more people get the chance or an opportunity to get jobs after they graduated or even when they are unemployed right now. So our mission is to reach the SDG 2030 goal number 8, which is decent work and economic growth in Indonesia especially. And now I would like to share the application to you. Can you guys see the application now?
Yes, we can see it.
Yes, thank you, Miss. So this application is actually designed for Android. So the notch kind of, since Marvel app used the iPhone template, the notch kind of cut off. And this application is quite simple. This application is very, very simple, actually. You just need to press this one to get the job specification of what you expect from the job to be, like what the job title and the location requirement, the job itself, and the average salary, which this one, it helps reduce the modern slavery that currently ongoing this modern day. And afterwards, if you agree with this kind of stuff, you already consider it, you can just apply now and fill in your datas for job application forms, your full name, and then your email, your CV, I've attached it, and application letter. Then you submit. After you submit, you will get this message, which is thank you for your application. We will notify you via email. And it will take approximately 2 weeks, but under special circumstances, it might take of maximum 3 weeks. And then, yeah, that's all. You just go back, and then if you open the app like in 2 weeks, you can just check the notification button, and you can see that. Like, you can see the notification. It will be updated as the time goes. And also, if people want to ask, there are a lot of applications has already been going like that.
For those who are searching for new jobs. My question goes to how is this only for people who are seeking jobs, or is it also for people to promote when they are promoting vacancies in their office? So does it goes both ways, or is it only for people it should goes both ways, right? Because
Yeah,
they're
of course it
uploading, right?
goes both way, man.
Exactly. But
Since
how can you explain us that?
okay, since we need some job vacancies for people to fill in those vacancies. So yeah, I think the app will be developed further if it needed to be developed further, and it is possible to be developed further. We will develop further for us to like have the administrators app, which it is for the companies to promote their job vacancies for people who are unemployed or fresh graduates to apply for the jobs there.
Exactly. So you need a special admin who will be taking care of those vacant that needs to be advertised, right? And also for those who are actually looking for jobs here. But how do you validate? How would the apps then validate which are the real, people who are providing the real information? Does it goes back to the company who's putting this advertisement, or do you have a special filter on the apps, you think,
Well,
for the future?
currently, as it is a simple app, currently we haven't developed it further. It will goes back to the company. At this point, it will be projected back to the company, and the company will filter their own applicants as LinkedIn works. But it's more effective and less complicated. So yeah.
All right. Okay, so I think there's also an application called Caliber, right? That also provides such a service. So compared to those other apps, do you limit this only for Indonesia area, or does it go beyond that?
We're currently projecting it currently go scope with Indonesia, national, since
All right.
there's quite a lot to be covered already.
Okay, but something to think about when you want to develop it further later for the future, right? Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Gerald. Anybody would like to ask about this app? Or maybe the group member would like to add or comment?
Okay, I'm sorry. I think it's a great application because it helps a lot of people, right, who are looking for jobs. But I guess it's just like a big question for me. Like, I think it's still going to kind of be the same situation, because these jobs are not available because people are not hiring, right? So it's also that these jobs cannot, sorry, sorry, these jobs also cannot take these people in because they don't have money to pay them, right? um so it still be the same situation that the only jobs that's going to be available are the only ones that are hiring. And even if it's on mobile or if it's not on mobile, it'll still be the same situation of having a hard time trying to get a job.
Okay, great questions. I think I'm gonna answer it with, since it is inevitable, as we've seen in the midst of this pandemic, companies are lessening their employees, which is, yeah, that's inevitable. But with a more accessible application that we've provided, I think it will mean more and it will affect more towards the unemployment rate rather than we do nothing. Like, for example, some companies that still need employees, which is there are, for example, career companies, they need a lot of employees now, such as maybe Si Chapat. They need a lot of employees to operate. And those companies they don't really provide job vacancies in a newspaper, LinkedIn. Why? Because like sometimes they know people who they need, they don't really operate in their scope, in LinkedIn and stuff. Maybe in a newspaper, it's expensive to promote their job vacancies, but in LinkedIn it's complicated, and people who wants to work in Sijapat doesn't really know how to operate it, I think, because it's complicated, as I mentioned. But in our app, it's less time consuming. It's not expensive. It's almost free, I guess. But yeah, I think that would be the solve of the question. Does it answer your question? Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much for giving me that insight. So I think what you're trying to say is that your application is revolutionizing the idea of advertisements for jobs and making it more accessible for people by making it simpler, right? For making it
Yes.
simpler and making it more understandable. As compared to what we have right now, which is like what you said, LinkedIn, which could be a lot of buttons. You don't know how to navigate through things because it's a lot of stuff on your screen. But yeah, I appreciate that a lot. Thank you so much for entertaining my question.
Thank you for the question too, Ian.
Thank you so much. That's a really great question, Vian. So I think from that point of view, you're right. So you're actually asking, okay, well, so what's the point of making an app if the job that is being advertised is not available due to this pandemic situation, right? So maybe for the future, as a development of this app right now, maybe you also want to expand it more, not to make it more complicated. Of course, the idea of simplification of the apps is great. I mean, you don't need to go all through the process like you do with LinkedIn or with Caliber or other apps that's for the employment apps. But the idea of, if there is no jobs to be advertised, so who's going to be looking for this job, because people are losing their jobs and people are not and companies don't have that much potential to hire new people due to this pandemic. So perhaps you also want to have an idea of collaborating with the small, medium enterprises for them to be able to collaborate. So not only for company to seek for new employees, but also for small holder to collaborate, so just finding place for them to collaborate so they can survive together, things like that. So that's great. Yeah, so it triggers that angle there, where you can also use these apps not only for employer seeking employee seeking place to work, but also for those who are about to get drowned because of the situation. The small companies, they can breathe again by finding collaborators using this app. So great job. Thank you so much, Gerald. Thanks, Vian, for the question. So please do, everyone, give a big round of applause for Gerald and his team, the on-site people. Gerald, Justin, Rian, Arshan, and Aurel. Okay, so you're welcome to just unmute yourself and give a real clap. Yeah, I can see it. I can hear it. All right. Okay, so next, guys, please, on the chat box now, put your names, the group name, and the members so I can record it on my notes, yeah? You don't need to wait until it's your turn to type it. Type it in now, your group members. At least I know that this group member consists of this. So I know that so if one person is presenting, then I know the colleagues inside their groups are who else. All right. So the next one is rest order, right? Is that how you say it? Rest order. All right. So we have Adinda, Evelyn. Is your group coming up?
Yes, Miss.
Do we call you Adinda or Evelyn?
Up to you, but my friends usually call me Evelyn.
Evelyn. Okay, Evelyn. So Evelyn's group, can you please type in the chat box who are the other group members while Evelyn is doing the presentation now?
No,
Okay.
the one that doing the presentation is David.
Okay, then David, so the other way around then. You will be typing the names and David will be presenting.
Okay, good afternoon, Miss Rain and my friends. So today, our group's gonna present our application. It's called Rest Order. So what Rest Order is, it's an application that helps clients reserve or book a seat or seats in a restaurant or diner and so on. So the problem that we're trying to solve or tackle is, it includes but not limited to, so first, busy customer schedules and crowded restaurants. And then with Corona around these days, it might be troublesome if customers came to some restaurants with stricter requirements and they do not meet those requirements. So through this app, they might be able to see if said restaurant has those requirements, so they can see it beforehand. And also, it helps so people don't crowd in the dine-in restaurants, so that it reduces the risk of COVID. So as you can see, here's the application. First, you can fill in your login details, or you can log in with Facebook or Twitter or Google, and then sign in. Then you can just click this find your restaurant. Yes, say search. Then you'll be brought to this page where you'll be able to see your various different choices of restaurants and dine-ins. So we're gonna pick Imperial Kitchen here for as an example. Okay, so okay, can we go to the next page first? I think this one is, so, sorry, some technical difficulties here. One sec, guys. One sec.
No worries, it's okay. Take your time.
It's just a minor error. We're supposed to go to another page, and then after that, was that page.
So we're still waiting for the other group who hasn't put down the names on the chat box. So after the rest order group, we can go to the anti-criminal group. And then, is that all? Or we should have a group 5 or at least a group 6, right? So for those group, or is that all? Please confirm to me. Is there any group that hasn't put in their group name? Langit, your group is not here yet, right? Which group do you belong to?
Oh, yes, miss. I like miss.
Yes, please put it there. Iklisa. Jason, which group are you? Okay. Yeah, so for those who hasn't put in the group name on the chat box, please do now. So I know how many more groups that we are expecting, so we can, the time duration can be adjusted to that. Okay, so you may continue, or are you still fixing some things?
Okay, sorry about that, guys.
No
Okay, all
worries,
right.
no worries.
Okay, thank you, Miss. So picking up where we left from. Okay, so search, and then we're gonna go to Imperial Kitchen. Right. So now we're gonna pick a table here. It's kind of small, so maybe zooming in will help. Can you zoom in, Octavia? So it's kind of small, but these are the arrangements of the tables on a certain restaurant. For this case, it's Imperial Kitchen. And there's a small note at the bottom that basically tells you the numbers on the ovals. They tell you the amount of reservations made on that certain table. And then the colors, a green means open. So you're good to go. You can go and click the table and make a reservation. The yellow one, you can still make a reservation, but it's close to, it's close to, it's halfway full, okay? And then the red one, it means it's full. You cannot make a reservation. You have to wait, right? So there's one example of the red table. All right, and once you pick your table, you can just click order, and then you can order your food, whatever you like, and then you can go to the next page, which will bring you. You can pick your date and time here, and then you can make the order, and then it'll give you a ticket. There you go. We're missing some parts here, of course. We're sorry about that. There should be a page that shows what reservations and times are taken on that certain table, and also a page where you should make your payment before you get the reservation ticket. But yeah, I guess that's it's not as intricate as the first two groups. We do apologize, but we hope to help so that people can find reservating and booking restaurants and dining ins to be easier, and help the restaurants so that their business can be sustainable during these difficult times, especially in the pandemic. I guess that's all. Any questions, guys?
Wow, congratulations, rest order. So I can see that your apps is already, the buttons are functioning already. So you can click from one page to the next one, right? Or are you just showing us, you're not only showing us image, right? You can actually click on it.
Oh yeah, those are the simplest functions, but
right.
Unfortunately, that's all.
No, I mean, that's great. That's great. Thank you so much. Yeah, before I give comments, I would give the floor to, wait, hold on a second. Let me see if Michael is still here. Okay, I guess he needs to be. Okay, so for the other group member or for the other colleagues, would you like to add or comments? Feel free, guys. You don't need to. This is something for us to, this is kind of like a warming situation to actually experience your apps, and then promoting your apps, letting us know that you can, even in a very short period of time, you can produce something that is really great like this one, right? So take it easy. If you have any question or anything you want to ask about what your friend just presented, please feel free to do so. Okay. All right. So this is a very relevant apps for now, especially during this pandemic. We don't want to, if there are chances to dine in, we don't want to have to wait for such a long time, right? We can just directly take order before that. That's why your friends create this apps, right? So before you create this app, have you make any prior research on whether there has been similar apps that are also available? And what's the difference between your app and the apps that is right now readily available? David or anyone else?
I'm going to speak for myself. I don't want to lie, so I'll be honest. No, not
Mhm.
really. I wasn't really expecting to make something that is so intricate and so different from the market. But from my personal experience, I've never seen or used an app. Maybe it's just me, or they're not popular enough to to book a table or on a restaurant and then order the food, and then it's convenient. Everything's handled, everything's simple. I've never encountered one so far, so that's why we came upon this idea.
Great. So I mean
I
that's so
think,
that would be a value added, right?
sorry. I think there's one miss like Tix ID and Tix. It's like that, but that's order ticket. We
Okay.
order food. That's the difference.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, so it's a different product, but it's using the same, almost the same concept, right?
Yeah. We can also avoid the crowds like that.
Exactly. And this app, does it also work for to go, or is it only for dine-in situation?
Only dine-in situation, miss.
Only dine-in situation. And then you also have, how would you project the payment?
On the spot, yeah, because we have to dine in and just pay on the spot there.
So you don't need to, when you do the booking, you don't need to pay it first in advance. So you pay it once you come, or?
After we had
Um,
our meals.
Ah, I see. Okay.
May I ask?
Yeah, go
No,
ahead.
Oh, yeah, in relation to Miss Rain's statement, I think it's important for people to actually pay for reservation, right? Because like the problem is if someone does book it without like paying for it and they're not even sure if they're gonna come on that day, they won't get any fees, they won't get any, they won't pay anything, there's no consequence, and that's like a problem for the restaurants because they save this seat, they save this area specifically for them, right, when it could have been just like a paying customer. So yeah, I think for the company or the restaurant side, that's going to be a problem if they don't pay prior for reservation.
that's actually true. Okay, yeah, I guess we're missing. Yeah, they'll have to pay, I guess, and then we're gonna take some fee from that, and that's, I guess, where our earnings come from. Thank you, Vian. Thank you for the reminder. I guess we missed out on
Thank you
info
so
as
much
well.
as well.
Yeah, or at least getting like a down payment, 50% of the whole payment first, so that there are consequences when you do the reservation and you don't show up. Because when you reserve this, we are expecting that the restaurant is actually going to be preparing it when the time comes, right? Let's say for lunch at 1 o'clock on Tuesday. So the restaurant can already prepare it at 12:30 to actually cook all the meals that are being requested. So at 1 o'clock, when the customer comes, it's ready. And if there's nothing to be put in advance, and then a no show kind of stuff, missing in action, the customer that doesn't come, they will, I mean, that would be something that would be a loss for the restaurant, and also for the developer itself. There should be some fee to be able to for the developer to actually get some fee from the clients who are using this, right? So yeah, so that are some feedbacks for the future when you are planning to actually implement this apps. Thank you, Vian, for your comments. Thank you, David, for your presentation. Anyone else would like to comment or ask? No? Okay, so again, give one round big applause for rest order. Evelyn, David, Sarah, and Lovando, right? Okay. All right, guys, the next one coming up, we have anti-criminal, woohoo! Sarah, Jeffrey, and Maria.
Yes, miss.
Go ahead.
Yeah, okay, may I start? Yes.
Definitely.
Good afternoon, guys. First of all, have you ever met a suspicious person on the street and then you feel scared and insecure because the person is looking at you all the time? We may experience this at least one time. I'm going to explain the idea for this app and how would it affect the users when using it. This app called Criminals Detector. What a criminal detector is? That should be a nice question though. Criminals Detector is an app that is made for detecting criminals by using the features of the app. This app could detect criminals with only a touch. Using the camera features, we can take a pictures of someone that's suspicious, and then the app with its face recognition systems will detect the face. And by using AI, this app will use its intelligence to detect criminal's face and adjust the results with existing databases. The databases included criminals' photos, criminals' backgrounds, profiles, and many more. The databases should be input by the authority, of course, in the admin website. Furthermore, this app is used to find list of criminals. Jeff, can you show us? Yeah.
Oh.
It's okay. I'll continue anyway. Find list of criminals, the latest news, camera features, tech pictures, report feature, and personal data, which is later required to fill out the national ID. Users have to turn on their GPS location to use this app so we can track them. And then if they're tapped on the report button, the report button will respond with calling the nearest police stations. So GPS has a main role here. You may ask, what about other people's privacy when we take their pictures? It's definitely not okay, not single okay. So within this app, if they're taking a picture, the picture itself cannot be saved in their gallery. But how if they screenshot this and share them on their group and etc.? Of course, cannot do because when they're trying to do so, there will be an error notification that said cannot take a screenshot due to privacy. Even though we didn't have the page that shown how it would pop up on the screen, because here mostly we only show about the main features on this app. Well, it's okay, it will pop up if they do so. Um, don't worry, our app is completely all about completely safety. We also have many reports button that exist in this app. So when you're in a panic attack or in an emergency and then what to do, very confusing situation, and then you see the app, you click the app, and then there you go, the report button. um, this application will be very useful to protect our society from criminals. We definitely can solve the problems of criminalization that occur among our society with just a tap on their screen. We can reduce people's distress and use violence of criminals out there and can increase the sense of secure among our society. Like, for example, when a woman got back home at 12 p.m. from her workplace, and then in the midnight she have to walk in a dark hallway and see something strange that make her feel insecure with the situation, she also could use this app. This app practically will cooperate with the government, so we don't have to worry. Policies will do their job as they must do. Imagine living in a peaceful country, right? Who doesn't ever want this? So we create this. Next time, for Jeff to explain about the application, please.
Okay, hello everyone. So this is our app. We call it Criminal Detector. Now you can press login, and now you can fill email and your password. Or if you don't want, you can continue with Apple or your Facebook account or your Google account. So now on the homepage, if you on emergency, you can press the report button. It will directly to emergency call center. And then there is a list criminal. You can see all the criminal and their data. Okay, so if and also there is news that it will showing the latest news. Now on the search button, you can search any criminal or you can search news also. The next one is the notes button. It will directly to the list criminal, And the last one is the account. The account. And if you want to get verified, you need to upload your ID cards. So you can get verified. And also you can edit your profile, setting your app and your password, and you can sign up. Next, now what is camera button for? Next will be explained by Maria.
Okay, so now I'm gonna explain the features of the camera. So when the users see anything suspicious or seeing someone with conducting an criminal activity, they can actually take a photo or a video. And when they go to the photo or video section, they will actually we provided a feature with automatically turn off the wait. Before automatically turn the flash button off, so it's for their own safety also. But if they actually really want to turn on the flash, they can actually press it, and after they take the photo or video, there is an AI technology in this app that will actually process the photo and actually can detect whether he or she is a criminal or not a criminal. And if it's he or she is not a criminal, we provided this page, and we provided also the report button. So if because if he or she maybe want to report him or her, they will actually contact to the police station, the nearest police station, when they press the report button. And if it's the criminal page, can you go to the criminal page? The camera after criminal. Yeah, if it's a criminal, it will show that page. Yeah, I think that's it.
Thank you, Maria. Okay, that's it, Miss. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Wow, this is really really good. You can try later on working together with the police department, right?
Yes,
Yes,
that's
ma'am.
right.
So you need to, really develop these apps, make it work, and then later on collaborate with the police. So this can actually be useful, Okay, before I give comments, I would like to give the floor to the team members itself. You want to add in addition to your friends that presented? Okay, and then I will give to your colleagues. If you have any question, please feel free. Anyone you want to ask or comments or anything. I can see Gerald raising his hand. Go ahead, Gerald.
Firstly, before getting to the main question, I want to ask, will you operate just in Indonesia or around the world?
We're trying to make it in Indonesia first, I guess.
I see. Okay. Well, I want to ask, since you said you can classify is the person is a criminal or not, is it based on the history of the person or criminal charges that he or she
It's
has
based on
been?
criminals photos on the databases, so it's identify the face with
So the police will upload the data of the criminal into like some drive, and they're gonna be stored there.
So it's based on the past action of a person, right?
Yeah, the recent.
Yes.
So what if that person has served the sentence, for example? Is it still considered as criminal?
The status will change to not criminal anymore.
Oh, okay. If I may ask, this is the last question. Like, does it violate the ICCPR ratification, which is Article 7, stated no one shall be subjected to arbitrary or unlawful interference with his privacy, family, home, or correspondence, nor to unlawful attacks on his honor and reputation?
Can you may repeat? I'm so sorry.
or shall I just copy paste it in the chat box?
Yes, yes. Okay, thank
Okay.
you.
This is the
Can I
Article
jump
7
in? Can I
ICCPR.
jump in? Can I jump in? Because I think our questions are the
definitely.
same, Gerald. Is it okay if I add to that?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, thank you so much, Gerald. Oh my God. I'm sorry. But yeah, I do understand. I really love the concept of having a repository that actually could identify if this person is this, if this person is that. I've actually personally, I have dabbled in this situation before. That's why I'm kind of knowledgeable about like what Gerald is talking about. And that is the discrimination that comes from inmates or former inmates, right? If you get this, if you recognize this, a lot of these inmates, a lot of people who has been in jail and like served their sentence, they've been in jail for 2 years, 3 years. Once they get out, they actually have more of a problem getting a job because no one wants to take them because they are predetermined as a criminal. No matter how much they change, no matter how much they spent their time in rehab, they are labeled as a criminal. And that's why I think in HR they're not allowed to ask those questions, right? Those forms of personal questions, because they have their right to privacy. Knowing how these people deserve to be treated as a normal being and not just labeled as a criminal. I do love the idea, or I love the concept of it, because if you do find someone suspicious, like, or if you are like a government worker or a police or a militant and you're not sure about this person, you could just like maybe snap a photo of them and see if they have any background or if they're wanted, quote unquote. But yeah, in general sense, it might lead to some form of discrimination, which is more dangerous for our inmates, for our former inmates and the people themselves. That's my take on it.
Uh,
Yeah, okay, you are.
no, it's okay.
Okay. So if they actually already changed, we actually already the status will not be a criminal anymore. It's like a criminal. If it's a criminal, it's actually the criminal that is one really wanted by the police, and it's on these like they didn't get caught yet, like that.
So if I may ask for a clarification, is that more towards like a bounty? Like, yeah, is it more towards like a bounty app? If there's a wanted criminal, he'll be classified as that, right?
Bounty.
It's like, yeah. Is it? Is it more towards like that? The application will work?
Wait. I don't know about that.
No, it's only for like wanted criminals only, not like for former inmates or just people who just served their sentence who were a criminal, or at least were a criminal.
No, it only criminals.
Criminals is, yeah, I mean, like, okay, thank you.
Yes.
All right. Wow, this really triggers a discussion. Really
So it's
interesting.
just for people on the run, I guess. That's the gist of it. It's
Yeah, I
just for
think-
people who are running away from the government.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so maybe there's also the possibility of having a different access for the people who are actually using it. You know, they don't have like the detailed access to get all the previous history of that information if they don't have the specific code. Let's say if the police is using that apps in comparison, if we are using that apps, we don't have all this detailed information. Perhaps, I mean, a different rights for user to actually access it. Maybe that's also one of the possibility that you can expand later on. Before I go back to my comment, I also see on the chat box we have Lopez asking, what if the person or the criminal wears mask? A good one.
Yeah, that's the main problem actually.
So how would your apps respond to that?
Well, you
Maybe
guys may
just-
know about you know, when you enter a mall and then there's some temperature detector like that. We use mask, and then the thing can detect our temperature, right? It could it may upgrade it later.
Or just upload the characteristics of like their tall cat.
Yeah, could
At least we
be.
have the characteristic, right?
Yeah, perhaps later on you can update or upgrade the apps more into like an eye recognition or face recognition. So if it detects a mask, but in some points it can detect the same measurement for the face recognition or the apps or the eyes recognition, then it can also triggers the previous data of whether that person is an actual criminal, right? But yes, Gerald's question, the first question he asked whether it's going to be local or international. That would be really something that you need to think about, because this will relates to the data you're using, right? I mean, if you're
Yes.
using to, you will be involved with many stakeholders if you're using many areas. So if you want to try it, perhaps if later on you decide to advance this apps and really make it happen, then probably you need to try it in a small local area first to see whether it works, and then expand it, make it bigger. One thing that triggers me from the first is that, okay, let's say if we install these apps to our phone, right? And then we see a criminal, but I mean, we can see just by the way that person moves, I think he's going to rob or something, something that is scary about to happen. If I was that person, I would be very panicked, and I don't have any time to, you click the app, just go and then do this and then this and then look at the history. So is there something from this app that you're thinking about, something that can, directly relates me to an emergency situation that I actually can save myself from? What do you think? I mean, what would your app help me to save my life at that point?
Be like,
How if you in an emergency situation, and then you just talk like help, and then the app will what yeah connect with the app, and then the app will automatically open itself.
or we can add the widget to the home screen. I don't know lah.
Ma'am.
Yes, please.
Our app, after we press the report, after we photo and press the report button, it will upload instantly to us. So when something unexpected happen, the criminal will easier arrested.
Right. Yes, I noticed that part where you upload it and then you report, right? But I would also suggest one idea on a shortcut button where you just, just one click, it can directly, so like a 911 thing, you call and directly, right? So somehow it connects to the GPS of your phone, so that instead of pressing everything and then submit and then wait for response, and then what happened if the connection is error, you'll get killed by then, right? So something that for you guys and as an apps developer to also think in advance, if that situation was about to happen, then you can just have a one-click situation where you already have where it connects to the GPS, stating that an alert to the nearby police department that this happens, and then your camera can just automatically open up, and then you can just, instead of pressing anything, you can just somehow put the camera to the current situation, things like that. That's just an idea how it can be more gives your app more adding value. So it can also not only you as the developer succeed in this app, but also can help whoever the person is, whoever the person who's using it. So it's kind of like an instant pepper spray, but instead of carrying around pepper spray, you have your phone, which you always carry around, and then you can just hit one click, one button, it can save your life. Things like that, right?
Thank you, Miss.
Yes, thank you so much. So great job. Wow, Freddie, I'm impressed so far with all of your ideas. These are the things that we can actually sell later on. So please do keep this in your mind, and don't just put it on your folder to be forgotten. These are just the seed ideas for you to go on ahead, right? Okay, so once again, please give a round big applause for group 4, the anti-criminal woohoo group. Sarah, Jeffrey, Maria. There's only 3 of you? Am I right?
Yes,
Yeah, we only
miss.
three
Okay.
people.
All righty. So I'll see you in the next few years with this application running and about, okay?
Okay, miss.
All right.
Okay.
And also for the previous groups as well, yeah? So next, who do we have next coming up?
Wait, Miss Rain, sorry if I may interrupt, Miss Rain.
Yes,
Before
yes,
we
go ahead.
move on to the next group, there
Uh-huh.
was a typo. So in the rest order group, it's not Sarah, it's Octavia. Have you taken note of this, Miss? I'm afraid of for Octavia because there
This
was a
is why.
typo.
So rest order is Octavia, Evelyn, Lovando, and David.
Correct, Miss. Thank you, Miss.
That's right. Okay, hold on. Yeah, so that's the right one. And then, so the next group would be, do we have a next group? Is that it? Okay, we have Taskmaster for the next group, which is consists of Dave, Jonathan, Nathaniel, and Kalangit. Go ahead, the floor is yours.
Okay, Miss. Jonathan will be the one sharing the screen. Yes. So, good afternoon, everyone. Our group present to you
I'm
task.
listening you like a robot. Is that only my connection, or is everyone else's also the same?
Same.
Yes, robot.
Same.
Or are you doing that on purpose? So your apps is speaking for you.
Check, check, check.
Yes, now we can hear you
Testing.
right.
Okay. Okay. Thank you guys for the telling me that. So our idea is a productivity app to track progress and remind about the task. So why we made this problem, this app is because of the problem that we encounter on our day-to-day lives, that we are lazy, forgetful, and we are like the person who are less motivated to do our tasks. So, and like this problem is encountered by many middle school students to working people, um, and then like yeah. So our user story is that we have a project. For example, we have a project next week, and if it wasn't for the reminder, we would have missed it. So this app will help remind us doing the task so that we won't
Hold on,
late
Langit.
doing the task.
We're not seeing your presentation yet. We're just seeing the outline.
Oh yes, miss. Just like that, we did
Yes.
make the, but afterwards we
Okay.
show you the
All right.
prototype. Okay, now prototype, Jonathan, kindly do the honors. So this is our app Taskmaster. So for the first page, we should sign up. Then now, as you can see, there is the name, Leonora Mendina, the notes, focus, reminder settings. So on our app Taskmaster, we have three features: the notes, focus, reminders. So for the notes, could you kindly click it? So this is what the present will look like on the notes. There are urgent tasks. For example, on Friday, we have an urgent task, so we write it down on the urgent task, and then the upcoming task actions on which on the future, and also which month, and notes, and also screenshot could also be put it on the app. And then we have other features like the focus one. So the focus one is like we're focusing on one of the tasks. So for this scenario, we're focusing on doing a programming project. So this is the timer. The timer will stop when you exit the app. So the this timer will stop, and then the track. So it will this focus feature will help you avoid opening apps like Instagram, Line, and other social distracting apps that could make you hinder you from finishing your task. And another feature in the focus is that we have a radio, like a lo-fi radio being played. So as the person is doing the task, they could listen to music on the free. This is free, no copyright music on lo-fi radio. So that is for the focus feature, and then our other feature is the reminders. The reminders, as you can see, is that we have events scheduled so that the user can know when the events are happening, and if they will be reminded to their preference of reminding. So what I mean from the preference is that they prefer to be 30 minutes reminded earlier, 1 day reminded earlier, and etc. So that is for the reminders. And that's wrap up our application for now. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much, Langit. Anyone else in the group would like to add? No? Okay, so please give a round big applause for Langit and his group. We have on his group, let's see the names again. Dave, Jonathan, Nathaniel, and Langit, right? Everyone's here?
Yes, miss.
Yes, okay.
Yes, miss.
Hold on. Before we continue, I would like to greet Pak Iqbal. Pak Iqbal, I'm not sure if I can do the attendance, Pak Iqbal.
Ya, Bu.
Boleh tolong, saya nggak bisa masuk ke BINUS Maya attendance, Pak. Itu
Oke,
atas
baik, Bu.
nama saya atau atas nama Pak Michael ya?
Sedang dicek dulu, Bu, sama tim.
Ya, karena nggak masuk ke dalam jadwal saya.
Oke, baik, Bu.
Just to make sure, kalau kita semua ada di sini ya, guys. Can you please tell me who in your group is not here? So group 1, everyone's here? Group 1 tadi, grupnya Vian. Is everyone in your group is here, Vian? Okay.
I think so, miss.
Okay. Online people, Gerald tadi ada semua ya grupnya? Oke, coba dicek grupnya masing-masing. Terus rest order, David. Ada nggak grupnya semua? Dicek ya satu persatu. Terus, hold on. Tadi rest order itu ada Octavia, Evelyn, Lovando, and David. Terus barusan Sarah, Jeffrey, Maria. Ada semua ya tadi ya?
Ada.
Oke, sip. And then grupnya yang barusan ini ada semua nggak, guys? Dave, Jonathan, Nathaniel, ke Langit, ada semua? Langit?
Yes, miss.
Oke. Oke, so far grup yang present, Pak Iqbal udah ada semua ya? Nanti kita tunggu satu grup lagi.
Oke.
Kalau ada semua berarti semuanya ada. Tolong di-record ya, Pak.
Baik,
I'm
Bu.
sorry.
Siap.
For the last group, Graha is not here.
Who is not here?
Graha, he took a flight, I think.
Oh, oke. Graha, Pak Iqbal yang nggak ada.
Baik, Bu.
Graha kemana, Vic?
He took a flight. He
Yeah,
didn't.
going where?
I don't know. He just said he took a flight.
Okay. Okay,
Miss,
so,
Miss?
yes.
For my group, we also don't have James here.
Jadi Graha sama James.
Yeah, because he switched major, so he's not here.
So what major is he in now?
IB.
IB. Okay. So will he? So he's not in the group because he's no more a BIS student, right? Because he switched major, right?
Yes.
So he will not be here for the rest of the semester at least.
I think so.
Okay. All right. Okay. So we'll note that. Pak Iqbal tadi Graha sama James, tapi James pindah jurusan katanya, Pak.
Oke, baik, Bu. Jadi
Thank you,
dua orang
Pak Iqbal.
lagi.
Karena saya masuk ke BINUS Maya, saya nggak muncul ininya attendance-nya.
Oke, mungkin Pak Michael kali. Nanti kami cek, Bu.
Ya, tolong dicek ya, Pak. Soalnya
Iya,
anak-anak
Bu.
sudah do their job, presenting really great, really well. Okay, so comments for Taskmaster before I go. Any one of you in the class, in the group, in the Zoom class would like to ask? Ada yang mau komentar? Ada yang mau tanya? Feel free,
Um,
guys.
Yeah,
Yes,
itu
please.
the app that's only for assignments, or it can do anything else to remind something else.
Oh yes, yes. Basically, any events or tasks or birthdays or something like that. So it will also be helpful like that. Yes,
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome.
Okay, anyone else? If not, I have a question. Sometimes so this is kind of like a taskmaster, me listing down the things that I need to do, right? Even though I don't want to do it, but I have to do it, right? So it's kind of like my to-do list, is it? It's something like that, right?
Yes, miss.
So what happened if I'm even too lazy to type it in? Is it connect with any voice recognition? So I can just, I have to do this. I can just record. First thing I have to do this, and then it can play my recording to the task. Would you have that feature?
Usually,
We can add that
uh,
actually.
yes,
Maybe.
and usually, Google keyboards and iPhone keyboards allow dictation. So it's not from the app itself, but the iPhone or the Apple or Android device usually already built in the keyboard system to allow dictation. So the app can like just follow the system from the Android or Apple device. Yes. I hope that
Right.
answers your question.
Yes, it does. I mean, because I think that would be easier, right? For me to just say it instead of typing it. And then maybe another feature that you can also add is just a picture, which can remind me that I have to do this. Let's say I just put a picture of someone. Let's say I have to check the students' grading, right? And then I just take a picture of the first page of that activity that the students are doing, so it can remind me. You can click on what I need to do. I think that's also one of the features that you can also connect, so that instead of something that's a bit creative, so you can not only type in or say the list, but you can also take a photo shoot, so it can just kind of like a post-it, but it's instead of notes, you have pictures or video, which can trigger your mind. Yes, I have to do that, right? Okay, I have Vian. Vian, go ahead.
Hello. Sorry if I keep asking questions.
No worries. That's really great.
All right. So I just wanted to ask, what if, or like more of like an ask slash suggestion, what if like there's a reward system that also grants the user some pseudo currency, that kind of thing, in order to encourage them to finish these tasks that they set upon themselves? Because we all know that a lot of people prefer to do chores if it's games, Minecraft, Farmville. We all know those stuff, and they're only encouraged to do those stuff if they are rewarded with something at the end of the day. So what if we created a system that like gives them maybe rewards like stickers, like backgrounds, or maybe in like your application, you could essentially like, hey, you can change the background of this if you unlock this background or wallpaper. Ooh, the kind of thing. So that's my take on it. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, Fion, for the suggestion. I really like your idea. We also think that that's a really great idea. So we came up also like, how about we do the number of tests? Like if we do this test, we get 50 points, and then we get level up, and then we get earn like good background, like cute background, like for example, like cute BT21. You guys know BT21, like
Yes.
BTS. Yes, you get that reward, and then you get that background, you get the stickers like that, so you could decorate your reminders as well. So you get the gist of like doing as many tasks as you want. So it brings happiness to you like that. I really like the suggestion. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much as well.
Exactly. I mean, you will get your self motivation on doing things, because sometimes if you're just doing it because you just have to do it, sometimes you will just, keep on procrastinating, right? I can do it later. But if there's a motivation for you to do something, then you will, directly jump to it. And then while you have here other developers who are also as creative as you are, you can collaborate together. Let's say one of the point is you get a discount shopping from Thrift Lang Store by Vian's group. And then, and if you unlock this specific point, you can get a discount having to dine in the restaurant, the one, what's your group name, the tadi yang sebelumnya yang the rest order, you can get a discount eating in a rest order, things like that can also gives the reward. So those are additional adding value to your apps of what is the current existing apps that's already happening at the moment available, but then you can add that in to have more people attract using your apps, right? All right. Congratulations, guys. I really love your creative ideas. Any additional comments or questions to this group? Anyone? If not, so please again give a round big applause for Taskmaster, to Dave, Jonathan, Nathaniel, and Kalangit. Thank you so much, guys. Now let's go on to the next group. Is this the last one? Tata Boga group, Graha, Victoria, and Vic. So if Graha is not here, then it's only going to be Victoria and Vic. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, but you're ready, right?
Yes, I'm ready.
And did Graha give his contribution to the project?
Yes, he did.
Or
He helped
okay.
me make the Proto.io UI.
Okay. All right, that's great. Okay, all right. You may start.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So good noon, I suppose, to all my friends and the teachers here. I'm from the Boga group, and I'm going to present to you our app. So these are the slides. So firstly, I wanted to say we started considering this app because we interviewed a target. We picked urban young adults from our range group specifically, and well, we tried thinking of a problem. Well, one of us was it's a funny story, but one of us was hungry and they thought food. And then he complained, well, I want to take a takeout, but it's quite expensive and I could probably just cook at home. But and then I said, why not just cook at home? And he just said, well, I don't know how to cook at home, or well, it's too expensive for me. So we thought of creating an app that solves the problems. So this is a problem. In all of our history or ages, or I suppose, we have expensive tools, but how do I say this? Not very competent operators. So you get problems like these, safety hazards, or basically people not knowing how to cook. The second problem is most young adults, including me, to be honest, are broke. We rely on our parents. Some of us rely on our parents or part-time jobs. And that's why when we buy some foodstuffs, especially in takeout, it's going to be a bit expensive compared to just cooking at home. But even then, we can't buy the necessary ingredients or tools. And the third problem is that most recipe sites are quite cluttered. I mean, have you seen one? It starts with something like this. This recipe was passed from my grandfather's mother's step-siblings, and I'm going to tell it to you. But before that, I'm going to tell you what happened during my afternoon. It's filled with text and it's quite cluttered in a certain sense, even if you just wanted to know how to cook. So the solution, we make a recipe app that has a little clutter, which you can find necessary materials to cook, even if you're broke or if you're, well, undercompetent, I would say, and then can be accessed easily so that you don't need like a constant connection or something like that. So how does the app work? I will show you that for a second. All right, so it goes something like this. First, you log in, of course, sign in. You get this interface. We are showed some recipes. You can search for recipes. You click on one. You click on one, and then you're showed the recipe. So here are the ingredients, tools, and steps. So if, for example, I want to find the ingredient, but I don't have the ingredient. For example, I don't have butter. That's why I said don't have item. I can either say, all right, this app can either find the item for you, or you can use these substitutes, like a tablespoon of margarine or olive oil or something like that. So if I find the item, it shows me to a map that shows a store, like for example, a vegetable store. To get margarine or butter, something like that. And if I wanted to know how to do the steps or do the recipes, I would simply go back to the screen where the recipe is shown and just click on steps. It shows the video and the steps of how to cook it. Yeah, that's about it, really. Is there any question?
Okay. Any question, guys? Or comments?
Question / comment. I'm so sorry.
No. I mean, this is what the class is. We're learning together. So we're actually, sharing our ideas. So discussion triggers discussion. This is what we're aiming for, kind of discussion. So go ahead, please.
Thank you so much. So I guess my number one concern is that I do understand and I do admire making a decluttered kind of like application dedicated to recipes that are available, that are better for encourage people to home cook. That's it. Okay, encourage people to home cook, right? But I think the issue there is like it does not have much of a difference from what we have right now, because you could easily search in the web, right, what you want, what you're craving for. So I guess that's my first question. How does it differ from what we have right now, from the internet that we have right now? Because if you just search easy, cheap recipes, enter, you get a lot of things. You already get a lot of things from Google. Secondly, I guess I just wanted to ask regarding like or maybe more of a comment or like a suggestion of like supporting farmers markets or cheaper markets that are not supermarkets or like huge groceries that we have right now in malls, right? You understand? So at least we're helping local businesses, local farmers, so that they actually can earn a living, that kind of thing, which I think would be a nice asset, which could answer your number one as well, because it sets a difference to other applications. But yeah, that's what I have so far. I might pull out more questions after you answer. So thank you.
All right, thank you for your question. I would answer for the first question. What makes us different from like searching in Google like easy recipes or stuff like that? I guess I would say it's more simple. I mean, if you search on Google easy cheap recipes, you get like a billion recipes. And even then, it's not like there's like simple substitutes of how to cook. For example, you need butter, or you need oil, or you need like what do you call it? Certain materials or ingredients or tools that you don't have at home. I guess our app is for people that don't really have much, but they still want to make a decent cook, and they need the steps too. For your second question about supporting farmers markets, I mean, it's a certain possibility. I mean, we're aiming this at urban young adults. Considering that most of them want cheap stuff, maybe we could say that this market has more quality goods or something like that. But that's just a consideration in my view, because our target demographic, like those young adults, I don't think that I'm speaking to myself, but I don't think they care too much on the quality of things, to be quite honest, considering most of them eat ramen or instant noodles.
Oh my god. True. But yeah, I guess, oh yeah, since you brought that up, amazing, actually amazing, interesting. I guess another suggestion that I could give is, how like the cheaper things that we have, you could add like, instead of like just adding recipes that you see from the internet, the common ones, maybe just like teach these people who use the app to spice up their things a little bit. So it like, even if they have like you said, even if their favorite food is ramen and they just want to eat ramen, how about like, oh, there are like certain buttons or certain buttons or a part of your application that would like feature what you can do with this one ingredient. How can you spice up this one ingredient? So like if you click, oh, ramen, I always eat ramen, there will be like branches of like there would be branches of what you can put in it in order to make it more delicious or interesting, etc., etc. Thank you for the consideration. I love it.
Oh, yeah, thank you for your comment too. I would suggest that maybe you could receive that to like a group recipe. Like if you search, for example, ramen, it would show in the search bar. You search ramen, there would be like recipes that require ramen. We're going to show them. For example, you have like butter. You search butter in the recipe tab, and it just shows recipes that require butter in a certain sense, maybe.
Okie dokie. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Are there
Thank
any
you
more?
so much. Thank you, Vian. Thank you, Vic. Yeah. Any more questions to this group? Go ahead, guys. I know you have some burning questions.
How if the
Go ahead, Sarah.
person cannot cook the food with the recipe and it's not working? You maybe should have like a tutor features or cooking class. Aside that, everything about the app is great. Kind of help a person like me that cannot cook.
I'm sorry, Sarah. I can't hear you. Can you slow down a little? I'm sorry.
Okay. I mean, you maybe should have like a tutor features or cooking class on your app, like that, to help people that really bad at cook.
There is a video on our app that shows how to cook.
Yes.
That steps part, yes.
It's different with cooking class though. Cooking class is like experimental class, right? So it's more effective.
I mean, you could, but it's a pandemic. You're going to learn from the internet anyways.
I'm just sharing the idea though.
Yes, I know. Thank you for your comment, Sarah.
Yes, thank you so much, Sarah. Anyone else? Any other burning questions? Before I continue, I just would like to confirm, is this the last team that we have for today, or is there any other group that we haven't called up yet? No? Okay. All right. Yeah, so thank you very much for this group. Please give a round big applause for Tatabuga. Tatabuga or Tatabuga? You have double O's there, so I might assume you call it Buga. One comment on the name itself. You are aiming for, your target group would be a youngsters, a young generation, people of your age, right? But they don't often use the word tatabuga anymore. I mean, I think, would you consider something that is more catchy and flashy and to your generation? Because I think it would also mislead to the older generation who often use tatabuga as a word for cooking, right? So please comment on that. And I also have a comment on the spaghetti. All right, that's a nice one. I hope this haven't actually happened to any of you there in this classroom. And then another one is that yeah, so this is really something that the young generation who, so now because of the pandemic, actually the lifestyle has shifted. Previously people go outside, buy food, order food. Now because of the virus, people are a bit scared and wants to cook healthy and try to cook healthy, but the problem is we don't have that much talent of cooking things right. So having this application is really useful, right? Having the easy peasy way in order to cook something that is healthy and right. My question would be, so you still need to go outside to find these things. So will you consider having a joint collaboration with the stores itself to have it delivered to your place when you're trying to cook for all these materials that you're finding to buy? Because if then you have to go outside, it's like the same thing of you going outside and buying things at the end. So yes, so that's 2 comments first. Thank you.
All right, to answer your question, Ms. Rain, for the first question about the name, Yeah, we chose it at random and we didn't consider it because we're not marketing majors. So we don't really know about the name. Maybe we'll change it later. For the second question, comment. Yes, the spaghetti thing actually happened, but I don't know who made it. I think it's someone in America. For your third question, yes, I suppose that for the stores or like supermarkets like that, it doesn't make sense if our app just redirects them and makes them go outside again. But the point being that I thought something like if you don't have the item, you can just search in Tokopedia or something like that. But I guess I would take it into consideration that these supermarkets may want to order, may want to send their food to their customers directly. But some supermarkets, sadly, because of the pandemic, are quite bankrupt, shall we say, and can't really pay drivers because they're mostly like, you think like Hypermart or the giant ones like Hero. Most of them are bankrupt nowadays. So maybe if they offer the service, I can't really force them because it's a map. Thank you, Miss.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, of course, it's just something for you to consider to actually, collaborate this with partners so your apps could be really be useful for those who really wants to cook something and don't have the readily ingredients available, but then can have it available not in a long time, right? All right, so congratulations, guys. Thank you very much. Please, again, give one round big applause for our last presentation, the Tataboga group by Victoria and also by Vic. So any other burning questions you want to ask before we finish the class? No? Please feel free to ask or to unmute yourself, yeah? What time do we have for this class actually? What is the timing? We're already 15 minutes ahead, right? On top of the 14:40, I think. Yes. All right. I was just checking my email just now to check about. Okay. Sarah, you are asking me about the BI dashboard presentation. What about that? You need to upload this or? Sarah?
They said we have to present the BI dashboards.
Okay. On this session, or is it the next session, or how? Because I don't know anything about that one.
I think last time Sir Mike said that we would present this Friday, but
This is Michael's task, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, he mentioned about you have submitted it via email, right? Have you?
Yes.
Okay. So yes, because Michael is not. Can you guys see him? Is he still available? Because he needs to be in JWC at the moment. So he's actually in the campus at the moment. So yeah, I don't see him. So yes, he mentioned something about please submit it to his email, then he will review it. Because I don't actually have any comments for that at the moment. And we're also already running out of time. So yes, please do send him an email